Hello, Sooner Surge, Sooner Nation. Welcome back. It is a terrific Thursday, not because it's a day closer to Friday. It's because Damonic Williams has committed to the University of Oklahoma from TCU. 6'2", 320-pound defensive lineman, the one people have been waiting for. Here he is committing to the University of Oklahoma. Massive, massive news for the Oklahoma defense moving into the SEC.
It's arguably the biggest transfer portal addition Oklahoma has gotten in the transfer portal era. It comes at a time, like you mentioned, they're going to the SEC. You got to you went in the trenches there, and you're landing the #1 defensive lineman in the portal in this spring window. And I mean, the Hayes Fawcett tweet comes out, and he puts out a tweet of his own saying, Sooner Nation, I want you to know that at the end of the day, I chose you because of relationships with Coach V and Coach Bates and the staff. They were genuine, and I believe in their ability to develop me as a man, a player, and prepare for the next level. So big-time praise from Damonic Williams.
Yeah, for the ability to add a player like the caliber of Damonic Williams. You think about Oklahoma over these last 3 years under Brent Venables and Miguel Chavis and Todd Bates, what they've been building along this defensive line. There's an argument that now that Damonic Williams has been added to the inside of the defensive line, that it is the strongest unit as a whole across the whole entire team. Like when you go from defensive end to the interior, because on the interior, I mean, you have 3 grown men in Lole, Terry, and Williams. Plus, you have the young guns in Halton, Stone, and Jackson. So you legitimately have a chance to be 6 deep on the interior of the defensive line. And also, to talk about that Oklahoma was able to land a player of this caliber. For everyone that maybe, thought that Oklahoma's NIL was maybe dead or lacking compared to some SEC programs. Now, I'm not saying that this is a recruitment that was maybe based upon all NIL or anything. But Oklahoma, they did their works in this. And once again, you see the true genuineness of Brent Venables and Todd Bates pay off when it comes to another big-time target.
Yeah, and you said it. This team is now a strength from the center at the point of the attack all the way to the back end. I tell you what, guys, we talked about how incredible the defense could be, how much improvement they could make, maybe slide into the top 25. That is now not just something that's a whim. That needs to happen. And if it doesn't, there's some things going on. This team is loaded across the board on the defensive side of the football where everyone has been wanting it to be loaded at. And listen, I think, like you said, the experience with Terry there and some other guys, along with the young guys, it's a great combo to have. And listen, the young guys aren't going to sit there and just bow down and say, hey, you guys take all the snaps. I promise you, there's going to be competition day in, day out. This is exactly what Todd Bates wants. And this is what you got to have in order to be an elite defense, a championship defense. And they have it. And Hunter, I love the tweets you read because there's going to be people saying this is only for money. This is only for money. But you heard it from his mouth that the relationships matter. Obviously, you've heard family has said they loved OU. So I just think in the end, what a massive get. Now you can stop saying, the naysayers can stop saying, OU just can't land big-time guys out of the portal. They've got the commitment from Damonic Williams.
Yeah, Damonic Williams was a freshman All-American, according to 2 sites, and started all 15 games in that season where TCU went to the national championship that year. It was a very talented team, and he played a key role on the interior defensive line. That season against Oklahoma, he had half a sack in that beatdown down in Fort Worth for the Horned Frogs. So, yeah, you're getting a guy that, again, last year he followed it up with honorable all Big 12 mentions, honorable mention on the defensive line there too. So going to the SEC, you mentioned it, Jackson, pairing him with Dejon Terry. Dejon Terry's already played in the SEC. Damonic Williams has played a lot of college football for only going to be a true junior. I mean, he started 2 straight years. That is the kind of experience that this Oklahoma defense needs. That's what they need. And you look at the defense, the only guys they don't have returning starters is Rondell Bothroyd and a safety in either Key Lawrence or Reggie Pearson. I mean, everyone else is returning. You have Danny Stutzman. You have Billy Bowman. You have DeJoun Terry. Now you have Dominic Williams. You have Ethan Downs, who's looked like he's made a huge jump. I mean, I think it's time to say that this Oklahoma defense should be the real deal in 2024.
Yeah. And Hunter and Jeremy, I don't know how crazy of a take this maybe is going to be. But outside of Georgia, I think this should be the second best defense in the SEC this year. With the experience and the talent that they have, plus the depth that they have now, just because they should be doesn't mean they're going to be the second best defense. But this is also an Oklahoma team that offensively, if you see Jackson Arnold grow and develop over the course of this year, if the offensive line starts to mesh along with this defense, you could be talking about an Oklahoma team that is fighting for a spot in the SEC championship game.
Yeah, and hey, you know who's really licking their chops and embracing this, guys? It's the ones you mentioned, Hunter. Danny Stutzman, Billy Bowman, everyone in the secondary, all the linebackers. It is going to create a lot of opportunity for them, and it's only going to make them better players. So, you add a guy like this in the middle, it makes everyone better. Not to say that they didn't have guys. I just think adding the depth alone, and now you can rotate fresh bodies. I'm telling you, all the way from the back end, you're going to be able to move guys up. You're going to be able to bump a little on the edges, a little more on the outside, because quarterbacks aren't going to have as much time. All across the board, it's a win.
Yeah, and I mean, you want to start counting up the guys at 300 pounds interior-wise. You have DeJoun Terry. You have Dominic Williams. You have Jermaine Lole. You have, according to Brent Venables, David Stone and Jaden Jackson. I mean, that's 5 over 300 pounds. That always seems to be the magic number. And, I mean, again, as you mentioned, Jerm, like, this is going to help Oklahoma a lot. Last year, the issue was they couldn't get sacks. This year, I mean, they should. I mean, you look at what they have defensive line-wise and the guys they have in the secondary. I mean, last year, some of the secondary issues was just, I mean, their defensive line wasn't getting to the quarterback. It's hard to stay out there and play coverage for a long time. So, I mean, as a whole, I think you're going to see this specific transfer in Dominic Williams like play out in so many different ways over the entirety of the defense.
Yeah. And also along this defensive line, I think that there's a chance with Terry and Williams, if those are your two starters on the interior, that you have 2 NFL guys in the middle in the SEC year one, which is also huge because the addition of Dominic Williams, I mean, he has the chance to legitimately be a game changer on the inside along the defensive line. One that maybe Oklahoma hasn't seen since, I mean, is Gerald McCoy maybe a fair comparison? I don't really know, but Dominic Williams, like his ceiling is that high, guys. Like he has a chance to legitimately be a first or second round pick in the NFL draft if he develops right this year. And this is an Oklahoma defense that could be extremely scary for teams to face.
That's right. And the excitement has been in the air, and now the excitement will stay in the air leading up to this first game. What a commitment that the Sooners land. And Dominic Williams, kudos to the staff and just being able to get this commitment, and excited to see Dominic Williams in the Crimson and Cream come fall. And there you have it, guys. Sooners have landed Dominic Williams from TCU. Huge get out of the portal. Thanks for watching the content here at the Sooner Surge. There's a lot more to come with the live later, and we'll see you next time. Boomer.
Sooner.